Hello, everyone, and welcome to a review of Star Vikings. You may also consider this an impressions video. I actually spent about 3 or 4 hours, I believe, with the game total. But I definitely got to a point where I feel like I've seen what it's doing. I kind of see the direction it's going in. And to be honest, I didn't really want to play any more of it. It didn't really grab me. For a few reasons I'm going to talk about. So in Star Vikings, you start out with a couple of characters. Really, you start out with one, then you get another, then you progressively build a team. But you start out with characters, each have their own abilities. They all act a little differently. They kind of all move a little differently. There's some that actually can jump a couple spaces or move diagonally, things like that. Some move just straight forward. Some can move guys out from one tile to another, things like that. But basically, your goal, depending on the mission, is to either advance a certain number of stages, or basically the map you're looking at now. Like you can do 5 of those, get through 5 of them is one mission. Like this particular mission is advance 5 stages. So you go through 5 of these. Some of them will be kill 40 enemies. Some of them will be find something on the map, things like that. So already kind of not a real exciting thing to be doing, but depending on the gameplay, that could have worked. And I say could have. Spoilers, it doesn't exactly, or at least not to me. So these missions, one of the biggest issues I've found is that these missions are randomly generated. And I think the developer did that for replay value. However, I kind of question if that was actually a good plan. Puzzle games and random generation don't really go together. If you're solving a puzzle, puzzles usually have one outcome, and you can do it right, you can do it wrong, or you can do the puzzle and make mistakes but still make it through. Especially with games, like there's puzzles you can do and mess up some but still make it through. I was kind of expecting something like that. You could go into a level and it be near impossible without using inventory and items in your inventory, or it could be a cakewalk. You never really get that satisfaction of feeling like you figured it out. And I feel like that's critical in a puzzle game. I want to know I figured it out. I figured out how to beat this level, and that's what, for me at least, that's what I like out of a puzzle game. I like figuring it out. This one, there's really no satisfaction in figuring it out. You basically play the game, and enemies show up. You try to get your heroes through there, and you've definitely got strategy elements, but not exactly puzzle elements to me, which, honestly, that alone kind of, I think, breaks the experience for me. And some of that is my own perception. I looked at the tiles, I looked at how it was advertised, I thought, puzzle game. Not exactly a puzzle game. Strategy game, yes. RPG elements, yes, although I don't know that they really feel like they need to be there. These are definitely forced RPG elements, or at least that's my take on them. They feel out of place. They feel like if they weren't in the game, you wouldn't know a difference. And honestly, I feel like a lot of the ideas behind this game and a lot of the gameplay mechanics they came up with are actually really good. This really could have been a really great game. Honestly, with a little more polish and just some better execution, this could have been probably not a new Plants vs. Zombies, but it could have been a really great tile-based game, a really great puzzle game. Like, it could have been a whole lot better than it actually is. I feel like they almost did too many things with the random generation for replay value. That's just should have never happened, honestly, in my opinion. Not if you're going to try to make a puzzle game. I feel like the inventory system just doesn't even need to be there. Or if it was, like, keep the puzzle elements, and then that inventory system can be the way out, not potentially something you have to use. And that's kind of how I was trying to treat the inventory system at first, and then I slowly realized that those inventory items are actually required to complete some levels, and I don't like that. If it's a puzzle game, I want to be able to solve it with what I've got, not rely on items that randomly pop up and I randomly get or I get from vendors to help me succeed. That's not a puzzle game. Strategy, yes. Puzzle, no. The level variety and the difficulty don't really ramp up fast enough. You find yourself doing a whole lot of missions that feel very much the same, and especially when it's kill 40 enemies or advance 5 stages, they really start dragging. And as they drag, then you get bored. A couple other things, the cutscenes are, or at least in the version I played, were pretty bad. I do know some of that may have been the version I'm playing, or that I played to do the review. I know it was a beta version. You can see it plastered all over the screen, and they did kind of make note that they were changing those cutscenes, but in every version I was given, I didn't actually see what those cutscenes should look like. So, essentially, all I've got right now to base it off of is what I saw, and while I don't know that they're really necessary, what is here, you just want to skip forward. That's really all I was left doing, and I don't remember if there's a way to skip through them or not. I feel like I was skipping through them. I actually played this a few days ago, and I really don't remember if I was skipping through the cutscenes or if I was able to. Sure as hell hope so. There's also a lack of music during battle. I found that really odd. It really felt like you wanted something there, even if it's not, anything fantastic. I mean, if you think back to, I mentioned Plants vs. Zombies, so that's what's coming to mind. If you think back to Plants vs. Zombies, there is some music in the background. It's nothing substantial, really, but it's a little bit of music in the background that just kind of gives you something. Just silence feels really odd in a game like this, like especially a game where you're going to be potentially looking at this set of tiles for a while. You really want some kind of music in the background, and just for it not to be there, it seems really odd. So anyway, that's basically all I've got on this. I think for some people this could work, especially if you don't go into the game expecting puzzle elements like I did. If you go in expecting a puzzle game, I don't think you're going to be happy with this. However, if you go in expecting strategy with some very light, somewhat forced RPG elements, you may be able to make this work. If you're somebody that watches TV and plays games while you're watching TV or while you're watching Netflix, this could work. You could actually get something out of this because you wouldn't have to spend a whole lot of time paying attention to it. There's really no cutscenes. The silence actually in battle would be a benefit, and I think for something like that it could work. However, if you're actually wanting a deep puzzle game or even a semi-deep puzzle game, look somewhere else. This is not that game. For $10, I would say if you're looking for something to play in the background, $10 maybe it's worth it. If you're really looking for any kind of a puzzle game, definitely don't waste your time with this. This is definitely not the puzzle game you're looking for. So, anyway, if you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, you can give it a thumbs down. Either way, you can let me know in the comments below what you thought, why you thought it. I do have a couple more videos coming soon. I know I haven't put too much out on the channel, and I apologize for that. Had some real life things popping up, but I do have some things coming here in the near future. In particular, I'm going to try to get a review out for Mafia 3, but we'll see if that actually works out. I've also got footage recorded for probably 4 or 5 other games at this point. So I've got stuff that I need to do. I just mostly need to do voice work for them. I may also have a channel update coming here shortly to kind of explain, again, the lack of content and then what I am actually going to be doing here in the near future and some changes I'm going to potentially be making. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.